so that we can use the waterways to transport goods real inland and reduce the pressure on our roads. It's also cheaper. It will also increase commerce. So we're working steadily on this program of the Niger, the region of the Niger, at least enable our country have alternative ways of transporting goods and people in the country. On the railways, which we targeted, we have rehabilitated the narrow gauge of the railway from Lagos up to Jeba now, and train services have started between Lagos up to Ilori at the moment, and also between Lagos and Ota, Abeokuta, we have started train services along those routes. Some big cities like Lagos, Ilori, Kaduna have also introduced intra-city train services. We have imported about 25 new trains which have been delivered, and as we conclude the railway rehabilitation between Jeba and Ilori, we will now restore services from here up to Kano. We are also building, rehabilitating the railway from Port Harcourt through Enugu, Makodi, Lafia, Jos, Gombe, and Maiduguri. Work has reached advanced stage. 3 weeks ago, we gave a new contract to rehabilitate the entire signal systems along the rail tracks, which have gone very old. So we're expecting the next year rail services will return on the east, northeast, north central, northeast rail line. We are working also to build a standard gauge to between Lagos and Ibadan, and also between Abuja and Kaduna. We are negotiating again with private people to build a standard gauge linking Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, which will move at about 300 kilometers per hour. We think it's a very viable thing. It's a route that people cannot invest and lose because of the heavy traffic that goes on between these cities up to Abuja. The same thing between Abuja, Kaduna, Kano. No, we can't lose there. So we are rehabilitating the existing rail system and also introducing the standard gauge. We are working hard on the railways because it holds the greatest promise for mass movement of goods and people across the country. So we remain very, very committed to this program, and we will ask the media to help us by also reporting and visiting the sites where these jobs are going on, and also reporting to Nigerians. Now, in the area of education, which is the second flank of the transformation program, we are targeting the restoration of quality to the educational system. We had an emergency summit with all stakeholders implementing the program. In the meantime, we are increasing funding to education at all levels. As I speak to you now, there's about 100 billion lying at the Basic Education Commission for states to share. In addition to this, we are also funding universities more than before through the Education Trust Fund. We have also targeted the training of scholars. We are presently training about 4,000 scholars at PhD levels through federal government scholarship in Nigeria and abroad. About 1,029 of them are doing their PhDs abroad. And this program is going to be continuous to renew the aging generation of scholars in the universities. So the program of training full scholarship for PhDs abroad and at home is going on. We have crossed 4,000 now. And ETF has been instructed to continue with this program continuously in different fields. Also, the Petroleum Technology Trust Fund, PTDF, is also giving so many common scholarships for people reading at home and abroad in specialized areas in all fields. In terms of ICT, we're introducing most of our secondary schools. This year alone, we have taken about 10 schools per state, in terms of bringing our secondary schools online. We're giving every school 100 computers, plus some 20 computers for teachers, and then connecting them to solar energy and introducing broadband to ensure that they are on internet. We are doing this all around the country. In addition to this, we're introducing learning platforms in the universities, teacher and learning platforms, because of sometimes classroom congestions. You can stay in your hostel and follow on what is going on, in the classes. We gave the first contract for 12 universities last month. We are going to do so for all the universities, including polytechnics and colleges of education. So it's a phase-by-phase program. and then it will also enable our students to access material anywhere in the world, using online services that we are providing in the various schools. Presently, we have given the last contract for the supply of textbooks to all primary school students in the country, in public schools. With the last contract we gave about 3 weeks ago, the federal government now has supplied enough texts, mathematics, English, science, social studies, and all the basic texts for every primary school pupil in the country. And we did so, getting the numbers state by state. We will produce this book, so there shouldn't be any Nigerian child in public school without a textbook. And we have embarked on this because we found that in most public schools, one of the reasons why qualities went down was that students don't have texts, teachers don't have texts. So we have embarked and supplied texts for all our students, every pupil in all the 36 states and Abuja. We have supplied enough texts, and so if there is any school child in Nigeria today that does not have a basic text, we should ask what is going on in that state. We should ask what is going on in that state. So we are doing so, and also embarking on training of teachers, in partnership with state governments. So a lot of work is going on in education, and we are calling on the media to help us to highlight some of these developments and to monitor, so that when we put in money, and that's why we put in the Freedom of Information Act, when we put in money, we want to see that it's translating into development. This is very, very crucial. Now, the area of governance is the next one that the transformation program emphasizes. Governance, because everything rises and falls in governance. And in this one, all of us have a duty, particularly the government, all of us are working systems, training, giving capacity to democratic institutions, and working with state. But here the media will have a crucial role in terms of monitoring, in terms of reporting, in terms of highlighting good practices and bad practices. In the country, there are a lot of states that are doing great jobs. I can mention a few. Lagos is doing a great job. I mean, all of us know that Fashola has done some good work in Lagos. And we believe that where things are doing, governments are doing well, the media should report the positive aspects. Because as Minister of Information, I'm not the minister for the federal government. I am minister for the country to highlight the good practices of democracy. I've seen Lagos working, and this is good, for democracy. I have seen Rivers working. I've seen that the new public schools that Rivers State has built is attracting students now from private schools to public schools. So it has renewed infrastructure and is building roads and new systems in Rivers State. I have seen Kwebon working. I go to Oyo and I see that the road infrastructure that the man is building, the e-library that he has built in Oyo, and the various infrastructures he's putting on ground in Oyo is great. I've been to Calabar. I've seen a clean city with, well landscaped streets, with pedestrian side lanes, and I've seen traffic lights walk throughout Calabar. Clean, neat city. And these are the things that I believe that we in the media must highlight. It does not matter which parties these governors belong, but wherever there is good work going on, the media should report, because sometimes Nigerians just think that this democracy has no work, which is not true. Democracy has worked far more than military rule, even in the last 10 years. It has worked far more than military rule in terms of infrastructure. Virtually every state has established a university in the last 12 years of democracy. We have expanded opportunities. Even the 12 universities that we established at the federal level are already coming on board this year. So it's important to highlight these developments. I've been to Jigawa and I've seen Dutse transformed. I've been to Katsina and I've seen transformation. Go there, visit these states and see what is happening there, and report the positive aspects of what is happening. But if we're all focused on what is negative, some people can run down this democracy and pretend that things are not happening. Things are happening. The last issue I want to highlight again is the issue of security. The issue of security. I know there has been a lot of anxiety in the country because of the activities of the terror group, the Boko Haram, and the unfortunate homemade explosives that continue to throw at Nigerians in the weakest of places. As you do know, there is no government in the world that will want to see its citizens killed. We have been doing a great job, a lot of work in the security area. Because terror is new to Nigeria. It's a new phase of crime which migrated from 9/11 onto Pakistan through Middle East, Algeria, and cross into Nigeria from the northeast border. And because we are also dealing with a group that is a global in reach, we discovered that the whole theater of Boko Haram operation stretches from Nigeria to Algeria, and some of the combatants are trained in far-flung places and smuggled into the country. So what the government has done is to invest more on intelligence, because we don't deal with this group by simply deploying troops and police. We deploy troops and police to give citizens confidence and to contend the firefighting and to hunt for them where they are. But at the same time, it's in intelligence that we can bust all the plans that are targeted against innocent Nigerians. And a lot of work is being done. We're deploying new intelligence systems, we're deploying new technology systems in the country to monitor the activities of these groups. The president has set up a security framework throughout ECOWAS, where heads of states and defense and police force chiefs of all the ECOWAS West Africa are coordinating joint operations to stem cross-border crimes. We're also going out of the country to establish units, in surrounding countries to monitor the influx of these groups in and out of Nigeria. So all these efforts will continuously capacitate our forces to detect and bust some of the plans. But terror is a long-drawn war. Once your nation comes into terror, it's not something that you can dictate that to do tomorrow, because it's not using conventional methods. But we believe that we will continue to expand our capacity and reduce their theaters of attack on innocent citizens. And we call on the media to cooperate by exposing this network, by reporting to encourage citizens to expose them. This is the way to go, and cooperating with security forces. In terms of arrest, a number of arrests have been made. You discover that those who attacked us on October 1, 2010, during the anniversary, all of them have been arrested.